Thanks. Got something here. Piece of pottery. Oh, look at that. Got some kind of writing on it. I can't really make it out though. Some kind of circular something right here. Probably. Metal. I don't know what that is. It's definitely metal though. Something big right here. It's like a big piece of pottery or something. Right there. Oh, look at that. That's definitely something there. That looks like it might be part of what the other piece that I just found. Oh, check this out. Big chunk of what I guess is limestone with these calcite veins running through it. Oh, there's some more pottery over here. Ah. Now this has some more writing on it. Right there. No sharp. I think this could all be the same thing. Look at this. Here's a nice piece of the, I think this is a piece of the marl. All right, so we're here at Letort Spring Run Falls, which is right over there. This is the Conodoguinet Creek. Hi everybody, Brett here. This is TopoRanger, and today we are mudlarking, wading, swimming. I got a mask too, along the Conodoguinet Creek. And we found a bunch of shards of pottery. The main reason I'm here is because, if you remember, the Marl Cave episode took place right here. Marl Caves are maybe 300-400 feet downstream. I was told by people who have been here before, exploring the caves and wading around the stream, that it's not very hard to find fossils in chunks of the marl just laying here along the stream bank. You just have to spend some time looking around. I saw pictures of the fossils that he did find, and some of them were very nice, I thought. I'm not a fossil expert, but they look really cool. And I'm also here just to look for anything I can find in the creek. The marl, again, is kind of a freshwater, limey mud that gets compacted, and whatever is falling, say there's a lake or a pond, over time what happens is leaves and sticks and whatever else falls into this pond or this lake gets embedded in the mud, and over time the mud compacts and lithifies. I went over this in the Marl Cave episode. I'll put a link up to that. And then when the marl was elevated, or rather the Conodoguinet Creek cut down, and what used to be the bottom of a lake or a pond, which is right here, is now elevated, the marl turns into this kind of rock, and it just breaks off in chunks everywhere. That's a piece. That's a piece. That's a piece. All these big pieces here, these are all chunks of the marl, and it's in this marl that you can find these fossils. Now, these fossils are not going to be really old, because they think that this marl could be as young as 12,000 years old. It could have been laid down at the end of the last ice age. It is quite young in terms of rocks, and so are the caves. The caves are quite young too. So what I did was I found this piece here, and a lot of it looks like this. If you break it open, it's kind of like whitish, tannish on the outside. And there is something right there. Now, I don't know, there's a lot of, I'm also looking for good specimens of the formations, because the nature of this rock is when you have voids, it just fills with this profusion of flowstone that honestly I've never seen anywhere else. Pennsylvania. This right here, this looks like flowstone here. So I'm also looking for good examples of that. And the fossils will just be basically embedded in the rock. So it's really just a matter of taking the time to look. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Follow me on TopoRanger on Instagram. Now I saw something over here that kind of got my interest. Where was it? It's also a very hot day here. It's with the heat index, it's over 100 degrees. Anywhere between 100 and 105. And I figured this would be a great place because the creek itself is really quite warm. It's like bathwater. But with Letort Spring, with the discharge from Letort Spring coming out right there, basically this whole half of the creek here, as you go down, is a mixing zone right in the middle. And then what I'm standing in right here is, you know, very cold spring water. So it's a perfect place to be on a hot July day like today. What is this? This looks like a piece of metal. Huh, yeah. Some type of metal. You know, I could actually use this as a hammer. I was looking for a hammer in the back of my vehicle, but I didn't have one because I wanted to break some of these open. There, see? Because I think maybe you might be able to find stuff if you can bust it open. So let's hold on to this. Got my boogie board here, the helmet cam, a little shovel, wet bag for my phone and keys, some water or whatnot. And as I kind of move around the creek, I just kind of take this with me because it has one of these little Velcro handle things, kind of like when you're at the beach hitting the waves. Keeps it from getting away from you. There's something right here. See, the thing is, I walked right by here, so I don't know how I missed that. That actually looks like a tile. All right, we're up almost to the confluence of the spring run. You can see you getting the cliffs here. I found a big chunk of flowstone, and I used our makeshift hammer to smash it. And you can just see the layers. This one too. And get some light right there. Let's hit it again. There we go. If I can find a really good example of this, I'll take that too. See, this is a piece of the... Now this has flowstone on it too. That's the thing, there's so much of it here. You just have to turn over a lot of pieces. What's this? Ah, here we go. Look at this. See that? That's the exterior surface. See those forms there? That's the flowstone. We'll just put everything here and we'll go through it at the end. I think we got some more pottery or something. Oh, geez. Huh. See, this is white. You can see that. Who knows when this stuff is there? I just want to get as much as I can, take it all home, wash it all out, see if there's anything that's interesting or to look at, you know, aesthetically. See, there's a huge, look at that, that's a big chunk of the marl right there. And the water's real clear here because it's a spring water. Big chunk right there. And like this. It's real crumbly. I mean, this stuff is really just cool to look at. Look at this. It's so gnarly. I mean, you know, it's like the way it's pitted and pockmarked. And the fact that the caves are right down there is also very interesting. And you know, there's probably a lot more caves back under this little plateau here. It's just a matter of finding an entrance. The feeling I got from looking at that cave was that the water from the creek gets injected basically through cracks and fissures. It gets injected into this little plateau here. I think it's like 2 or 3 acres under pressure when the water's high. It gets injected in there. All the cavities get filled up with very aggressive, chemically aggressive creek water under pressure, and then it slowly drains away. Another event, injects, slowly drains away. So over, you know, thousands of years or tens of thousands of years that this marl has potentially been sitting here, you get this never-ending process of basically floodwater speleogenesis, which is just a word that means how caves are formed. But I don't think that the caves here are forming in a typical way, because I don't think the rock has a typical joints or faults or anything like that, because it's so young. And even though it is hard, and if you hit your head against it, you know, you'll cut your head open, but it's porous. It's more porous than a typical cave forming rock. So, you know, you get this pushing in, draining out, pushing in, draining out, which will form these kind of irregular, I'm trying to think of the word. I want to say ramiform. I think it's R-A-M-I-F-O-R-M, ramiform, and it's a word that denotes a certain kind of certain kind of passage formation where it's just like a spider web of stuff. And that would be because of the nature of the rock, but also because of its location. And the nature of the rock also has a lot to do with why there's so many formations in the inside of the Marl caves. Every square inch of the walls, the ceilings, the floors even, is just covered with calcite deposits, right? And that's because the water, the meteoric water, the water coming from the clouds, when it comes through, it just kind of diffusely goes through, as well as down through cracks, and then it emerges on the other side in a void, in a conduit or a passage, and then it just drips and it forms these, you know, dense, profuse deposits, you know. So my guess is that you can find a way in here, which could be easy, could be hard, I don't know. I haven't really spent enough time here. There's probably tons of voids in here, meaning caves. Some of them are probably big enough to get in, some of them aren't, and they're probably all interconnected. But, you know, the question is, how do you get in there? What's this? Oh yeah, I'm also finding quite a few bones. And look at these, the moss. I love how the moss grows on these, the greenery on these cliffs is just amazing. It gets, because of the porous kind of, the porous nature of the rock, the moss and everything can just really grab in there. So you get this complete covering. And you see here, there's kind of like, maybe that's broom moss or something. And then you get this other kind here. What the heck is that? You see that? And that's a different kind there. Let's get it wet. Huh, I've never seen that before. And then you get little ferns. Yep, so you see this right here? You see how there's this crack here? So this whole piece is probably slumping down, but it hasn't fallen off yet. Now, when you get a high water or flooding, the water comes in here. Let's say the water's up here, right? It's gonna push that stuff back in there. Ooh, the water's getting cold. Well, it is cold. It's already cold. What's this? Oh, what's that? There's a little bottle back there. You see that blue something back there? What is that? Well, last time I was here, I didn't have my bathing suit on, so I couldn't go this deep. Take a peek. Oh yeah. There's the falls. Yeah, so this is Letort Spring run comes the whole way from the other side of the valley. Right into the Conodoguinet. This guy's fishing over here. All right, so I found this, which is a piece of pottery. It actually has some color still on it, and a little bit of that decorative motif around the rim. And it's golf ball. I have a golf ball collection. I think this is number 8 or 9 that I've collected. Yeah, there's actually it's like a little cave up in there. Maybe we should go get the light. Oh, it goes over there too, you see it? Huh. See, I didn't see that last time I was here. There's another piece of pottery. Last time I was here, I was up here looking at this stuff. Around in this, what's that? You see that? Oh, what is that? Oh, Jesus. It's like a piece of metal. All right, we're back, and we got this little guy, which is actually a Motorola. It's waterproof down to like 2 meters, and believe it or not, it's 500 lumens. The only problem is this stuff is like really sharp and painful to kneel on. Oh yeah, it goes up in there. Look at that. That's big enough to get up in there. See the roots growing right through the rock. Now this is exactly what I was talking about. You see this whole pocket here. My head's still outside. I mean, that's big enough to get up in there. And it wraps around over to here. You see that up in there? Look, and it goes over there. Oh, whoa, look at that. There's another space right down there. Can we see light? Oh, I'm seeing light through that hole there. You see that? Yeah, see how it goes up in there? So that's what I was talking about earlier, about how these caves are forming by the creek side. How it's probably just a maze in there, a warren of small, big, medium passages. Twisting. Yeah, golly knows what's up in there, huh? What the hell is that? Thought it was a golf ball. Some kind of nut. This water is nice. Oh, now it's warm. All right, let's head downstream. Let's see what we can find down by the cave entrance.